So without any further ado, we're going to bring in right now area code 937, one of the representatives of Rockstar Pro Wrestling. Welcome to Under the Mat Radio.
Hello. It's CW.
So how you
Hello.
feeling?
Oh,
Good evening.
Not too bad.
That's good. I know you're calling to represent Rockstar Pro Wrestling, a great indie promotion that is out today. Let everybody know who we're speaking with and just to introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. I'm CW Scott, the owner and, I guess, promoter of Rockstar Pro Wrestling. I do a little bit of everything besides own Rockstar, but a little bit of everything behind the scenes. So, Rockstar Pro is a indie wrestling company based out of Dayton, Ohio. We've kind of had a little bit of everybody through our Fed. We've really grown the last 2 years, I would say, is when we've really kind of started blossoming the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Oh, great.
Yep,
You said
that's a quick little...
you're based, and if I'm right, doing a research, you are based from Ohio, correct?
Yeah, we're based out of Dayton, Ohio, which is like central a little bit. We're a little south of Columbus and north of Cincinnati. So kind of very centrally located in the Midwest, which helps out. We're definitely getting talent that we can kind of, we're 4 hours from Chicago, we're 4 hours from Cleveland. We're definitely within range of a bunch of. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
6 hours from us in Baltimore.
Yeah, it's a doable car ride.
It is. Well, Ohio is definitely a good state. Visited there a good number of times. Yes, it is. CW Scott, it is an honor to have you on, as always. Rockstar Pro. And we do have White Trash himself. We have Mr. White Trash Marshall Ron Mathis. We're going to bring him in momentarily. But what makes Rockstar Pro Wrestling different from other indies? I know there's thousands of indie promotions out here today, but I do have to say that I have heard of your promotion before. I've been following it before I contact you off air. I do have partners in Ohio and wrestlers in Ohio that's talk very well and friends that work for your company. What makes Rockstar Pro Wrestling different from the other indie promotions?
Well, I think what makes us different is definitely one, we do a weekly show. So we do just under 100 shows a year. So that allows us to be really in depth with our storylines, and we can take our time. We can let things marinate a little bit, and then also I think with this being a weekly show, and we're kind of also a hybrid of wrestling. We're like kind of old style meets new style, I would say. We're kind of a mix of different styles of wrestling, but especially the old and new, and mix that with, weekly and having storylines. I think you get something pretty interesting,
Right, I understand that. That is good. Now with what are the challenges? With you being a promoter, being an owner, being the one in charge to say, I do see you guys that have weekly pay-per-views, which definitely do agree. We've seen this happen before. When TNA started, they did weekly pay-per-views. Other promotions have done it. What are some of the cons and the challenges of having a weekly pay-per-view, having it right weekly, as opposed to Pro?
Oh yeah. Well, our weekly show is now is shown on Fight TV, and we have our own network you can subscribe to.
Yes.
And then we also have a once a month our pay-per-view. So we actually have at least 5 shows a month. So sometimes the problem is like just keeping up with it. Like if we've been going now, we just had our 5-year anniversary, and it's being every week. You got to keep writing. You got to keep writing. You got to keep checks of talent coming in and going out and stuff. So it's really just trying to keep up, and stay fresh and topical. Not burn yourself out, but yet push it to the limit as much as you can.
I agree with that. I do like that. Now you I would just say, CW Scott, you're the only person in the whole roster on RockstarProWrestling.com that sports a polo shirt. so you do stand apart from everybody else. But the basic workman's polo shirt. With you being promoted and owner, have you had any experience of being one of the boys wrestling in the ring, or have you had any thoughts of doing so?
Oh, yeah, I wrestled for years. I was actually trained by Shark Boy and Dean Ambrose. It was actually who I was trained by. And so as I was wrapping up some of my training, Dean Ambrose, a.k.a. John Moxley, was kind of wrapping up, going further with his career. So I kind of come on his tail end of the indies, you know. And but from there, you know, I did wrestle for a while and did do that. I come from a music background in production and management with bands and stuff. So it was very easy for me to bring that to Rockstar, was the production part and, you know, making sure the correct sound and lighting's there and stuff.
Sound checks.
And, sound checks, just basic stuff, you know, that is known to, like, the music industry, and that's not necessarily always known to the wrestling industry, you know. And so I did wrestle for a while, but I finally kind of liked being in the back, you know, having my hand in, like, story writing and production and this and that, you know, because, like, a guy has his character, his gimmick, you know, whatever it is. I feel it's just as much important what I do backstage to help him put forth that character and gimmick, you know.
Right.
So I wrestled for a while. I started backing down from it, and then I suffered a severe injury during an actual pay-per-view. I was doing a wrestling move. Ankle broke completely, all three bones. Finished the match, crawled in the back, said take me to the hospital. Got several plates put in, screws, and they're like, if you're crazy, you can wrestle. But I'd stop.
We'll recommend
and then I actually had, and then I actually had my two retirement matches, and I was extremely happy with both those, and I was happy to go in the back and do what I believe I was more meant to do in the wrestling business, the production and office stuff. You know, leave it to the much more talented guys to stay in the ring. You know.
That is true. A fan sent us a video just now. Just make sure this is you. Die Hard Tom McCain versus C.W. Scott at the Punk Rock Rebellion.
Oh, that's years and years ago. Yeah,
okay.
we were like Punk Rock Rebellion. We kind of did like a Misfits meet Star Wars thing, and heck, that was decades. That was not decades, but years and years and years ago. Yeah, I've hung up I had my two matches when I came back from my injury, and that was it for me.
We do our media assistant Saltine. I know he's there. We're all big Star Wars fans. Saltine,
yes,
you wanted to know, C.W. Scott, your thoughts on Star Wars Episode 7, and of course on Rogue One.
Oh, one of the bad parts about doing what I do is, like, I don't really get to make it out movies. So I think I finally, and, like, is that the last one that came out, or is that the one that's going to come out?
Rogue One, am I right, Saltine? Rogue One came out, was it the end of last year?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Is that the one? Sure. Is that the one with? Is Han Solo in that one? Is that the one?
No, that was the Force Unleashed.
Oh, no,
yeah, that was Episode 7.
No, I have not seen it then. I have not seen it yet.
Oh, wow.
I have not seen it. I did see the one with Han Solo, and I'm a huge Han Solo fan, so I don't know if I can watch it anymore. That's the story.
Yeah.
Except when the movie comes out, I'm very excited about the Han Solo movie. I'm very excited about
exactly.
Yeah, they actually promote those things a year, 2-3 years in advance. So, like a good year.
That and Godzilla movies.
Oh my goodness, yes. That one coming out supposed to be next year or something, and they supposed to do like a King Kong one like later on like 2020, something like that. I was like, what?
Yeah, I saw something like 2020. It was like the Island of the Monsters or something. They're gonna have a bunch. And I was like, wow.
Wow, that's gonna be wow.
Yeah.
Just to think, if only wrestling could do that well at promoting that.
Yeah.
2 years from now, for a big event.
Oh yeah.
So
we try to do 3 months in advance, and that drives me crazy enough. So.
Yeah, it's true. Well, and of course, don't worry, White Trash Muscle. We will bring you in a few. Fan Davis just said, "Are you guys aware that there's a congressman named C.W. Scott as well?"
I had no idea what it was.
Yes, San Diego Progress Report. Yeah, that is true.
That's awesome, though.
C.W. Scott discusses his first 100 days in office 3 years ago. Wow. Definitely, we didn't know. Definitely have to love the fans. You do. Talk about coming up. You have your iPeak review coming up called Spring Break. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, we have Spring Break. It is April 7th, and our main event's already signed for that event. It's actually going to be Sami Callihan, a former champion of ours, former Rockstar Pro world champion, versus Zachary Wentz, another former Rockstar Pro world champion. They're actually going to have a boards match, and it should be good. They were part of a four-way. We had our last pay-per-view for the World Heavyweight title, which was Ire from Japan, Zachary Wentz, Sami Callihan, and we actually had our new champion, which is Jeremiah, who won the title that night. He'll be at Spring Break defending the title against either Jake Chris or Ron Mathis. Whoever wins, they're having a best-of-7 series right now, so whoever wins that will face Jeremiah at Spring Break, who won the title out of the four-way in the previous pay-per-view.
No, this sounds great. Best-of-7 series. I know.
Yeah.
Of course, the classic best-of-7 was with Booker T against Benoit, which he did exist, guys. I know a lot of people, they try to erase it from existence. And then I know they tried to do it again in WWE at one point, where it was Booker T and I believe Booker T and Benoit, correct? Am I right?
I
think it was Booker T.
wasn't one.
I think they WWE tried to recreate it, and I believe Benoit got hurt. It was a Booker T that got hurt. I'm trying to figure out.
I can't remember. I remember Booker T being in it.
So,
yeah.
Sorry for the feedback, guy. WWE, when they did the best-of-7 series again, wasn't it Booker T and Benoit again, and someone got hurt, and Cena had to fill in, or was it Benoit and Cena?
I can't even remember. I don't even remember who replaced them.
Yeah, I do know Booker T definitely.
That's vague. That's real vague to me.
Yeah,
I can't not remember.
I remember him not showing up. I just can't remember who replaced the match.
Okay, somebody just said that it wasn't.
They scrapped it all together.
I bet Ron might know. He remembers stuff like this.
Yeah, someone that sent the thank you, fan. They said it was Booker T against Benoit, 2005 best-of-7 series, and it went all the way up into match 4. Benoit defeated Booker T. Again in 05, and I believe Booker T got injured, and then Randy Orton took his place. And Randy Orton was the sub. Benoit defeated Orton SmackDown match 5. Benoit defeated Orton match 6 SmackDown. And Orton defeated Benoit match 7 on SmackDown. Okay, so thank you fans. Thank you fans for being very much on time for that. So with that, you have Sami Callihan, of course, very, very well known, great athlete in the ring, the Death Machine. Of course, was if I'm correct, he was a former heavyweight champion of Rockstar Pro, correct?
Yes, he's actually been 2-time now. Rockstar Pro World Champion. Yep.
Talk about the privilege of having him. Of course, everyone knows him of his time in WWE, NXT, and then, of course, doing great indie work. How does it feel to have him on your roster?
Oh, man, he's a great guy to have around. He is, in the ring, backstage, he's just a great, mind. He's a great wrestler, but he's also a great mind of the business and, just of how wrestling works. He's a great mind to have around. It's a privilege to have him on a regular basis in a locker room.
Yeah, it definitely is. Don't worry, I don't want anybody to feel any type of way. We will get to the other champions. Jeremiah, Clinton Jackson is the American Luchador champion. The Luchador division rules very unique. Outside the ring, no DQ, 20 count to return in the ring, which I do enjoy the 20 count coming from Japan. Title can change hands via count out or DQ inside the ring. So I do like that rule because it puts more emphasis, I guess you would say, if it's a heel. No, Clayton Jackson is the current American Luchador champion, to where more goes into play to where, a guy tries to decide to do the cheap route where he tries, okay, I can get a DQ, I can get a count out, the cheap way to hold on to a title. You guys took that away from all of the champions, the way he definitely would have to win, talk about what made you guys change up the idea of the rules and how you came up with the American Luchador champ.
Actually, it was an ideal from Sammy Callahan and Dave Chris. They had the Luchador belt for a promotion that they both had a hand in and stuff, and we were doing Rockstar, and we were sitting there, and we were like, hey, we want a middle belt, and we're like, we want to do something different, we just don't want the standard thing, and they told us about the Luchador belt, their idea and everything, and we're like, this is amazing. So we just like, let's do this, and stuck with that, and it's great because it does allow something different for the event. Now some people sometimes when they're new, usually somebody next to them will like tell them the rules, like, oh, why are they out? Like, why can they hit people with chairs on the outside, but if they do that inside, that's a DQ. And once people understand the rules of it, they're like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. This kind of allows, like, two different things, and it's been great for us, and it's one of definitely the things unique to Rockstar Pro.
Wow. Thank you for that. We're going to bring in the man himself, Mr. White Trash Muscle. Don't worry, CW Scott, you can stay on the line. Welcome, everybody, live, the White Trash Muscle, Ron Mathis. Welcome.
Hey, guys, what's up? Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you for being patient and on hold while your boss was on air, promoting your company. A lot of people are asking us throughout the day, White Trash Muscle, can you please explain their nickname, the White Trash Muscle?
Well, it's pretty simple. Back when I was the Rockstar champion, I got a little feedback from the office because I'd always show up to the building wearing, sweatpants and a T-shirt and, just hang out like I always do because I don't own a polo shirt or a tie or a pair of khakis. Don't own one in my closet. So when I was the champion, I'd show up, looking like that, and I'd get a little bit of feedback from the office, like, can you kind of show up not looking like that? You're the champion. You're representing the company. So I just said, you know what? From now on, drop Relentless. I'm White Trash Ron Mathis. It's my gimmick. That's why I dress like this. It was just a way to be myself that wound up working out really, really well.
That is good. Thank you for that. CW, the name White Trash Muscle, were you a fan of the name first, or was it the other higher powers that decided to go with it?
It kind of just happened organically. Like, I don't really remember, like, O'Kane or not O'Kane. It just kind of showed up, It's like, well, it's here. Somebody said it. We got to keep it now, Like.
And it's also probably a matter of being a guy that's been day one from Rockstar. I probably get a little bit of leeway.
Sometimes that's the best. That's the best nicknames or happens or something that happens organically. Just happens out the out the way. Never happens out the way.
That's a big thing for Rockstar Pros. Like, we try not to force things, or if it's not working, man, like it's done. You know, like, we really try to go with that organic. Like, if it's hot, it's hot. Let's go with this. You know, if they're not digging this, or if this happens by accident, we'll go with this. You know, like.
And it's like you were saying earlier about how we have weekly shows there, and you guys were acting about the disadvantage, but really, to me, there's way more advantages. Because if you're running a show once a month, something can get real hot when it happened, and then the fans go home, and for a month they sit on it, and when they get back, it's not as hot as it was. If we get something hot, we got 7 days, keep it hot. 7 more days, keep it hot. Like, we can keep stuff going a lot more than you can running once a month. I think it's more beneficial than it hurt.
Now, something I was sent earlier today, and of course, we got to give a shout out, because if we don't, he's going to hit us with a lariat. Our good old buddy DJ Hyde, who does a part of, he will hit us with the lariat. Shout out DJ, always treated us well. DJ, good buddy was David Starr, Shane Strickland, AR Fox, a whole bunch of guys that work on that part of the roster for Rockstar, that good buddies of ours. Now, someone sent me this Ron Mathis White Trash Muscle light team death match you had against Matt Tremont, which is a part of Rockstar Pro, if I'm correct. Explain what you have to go through psychologically to go into a light team death match. Or do you have to think at all, or we just go ahead and just suck it up and just go ahead about it?
The thing is that I'm 32 now. Like, when I used to go into those death matches, I would just go in and just jump in, you know. I got to do this. Got to go as hard as can. And now that I'm 32, and honestly I've become a better wrestler, I like deathmatching. I love it. It's a great art form. But people know I can deathmatch. I want people to know that I can wrestle now. So at 32, like, psychologically, I'm preparing myself to, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this safe, and I'm making sure I'm not going to get hurt. So there's a lot more psychological preparation at 32 to a deathmatch than 25.
Yeah, sure. Well, C.W. Scott, will you be in a light team death match?
No, I am not a fan of glass. The only time I ever went through glass is with Ron.
He put me through glass.
I had put him through. It kind of sucks. It really, honestly, it kind of sucks.
This guy was wearing clothes and he was on the top. I was shirtless on the bottom.
The best thing about that, though, Ron did have a shirt on until 30 seconds before we go through glass. He, for some reason, like, hulks up and takes his shirt off. Like, it was wrong timing.
Talk about organic, man. I didn't plan on taking my shirt off. I just got fired up and it came off.
Well, with that, I know you guys have a great pro wrestling academy, Rockstar Pro Wrestling Academy. You can find us, of course, email them at rockstarprowrestling@gmail.com. Of course, Dave, Chris is the lead trainer. Talk about Rockstar Pro Wrestling Academy, C.W. Scott, and once you're done, Ron Mathis, about, once again, this Pro Wrestling Academy, what makes it legit. As like anything, there's a lot of them out here. There's a lot of pro wrestling academies, a lot of pro wrestling schools of indie guys that really don't have a lot of experience, no names. But I know you guys have a lot of people on your roster that are known, that's worked all over, that's worked for a lot of big companies. What makes the Rockstar Pro Wrestling Academy the place to go to where up-and-coming people, men and women that want to be a wrestler, even referee, could get the right tutelage?
I think the number one thing that makes our school stick out is that when I did the school with Dave, Chris is the head trainer there, and we both came to agreement that, like, we're not here, I mean, it'd be great to make money from it, but we're not here to pay our bills from money making off the school. If you are not going to cut it, we're just not going to take your money and run through the emotions till you quit. Like, we're going to tell you off the bat, like, this may not be for you. Please don't waste your money. You know, like, and I think also with our school is, like, it's, you get an overall education. Like, with us having a weekly show there, and we also film it for our network and Fight TV, is that you get to see, like, the backstage production. Like, we're one of Angela's, like, when you start training with this, you move from being the guy up front helping with tickets and concessions to, like, the guy that does security, to then maybe the ref, maybe the guy in the back, to eventually when we feel that you're comfortable or at least around a ring and trained enough to have you work the show. And I think also once you start working the shows there's so many opportunities to have so many matches within a short amount of time. They are controlled. You know what I mean? That we just don't put you in there with anybody. We put you in there with somebody that knows your skill level and is going to be able to work with you to make you better, you know. And I think we also prepare you for TV, you know, with our production,
right.
which
exactly.
is different.
Good stuff. Indeed.
We teach camera angles. We teach, like, we have so many guys, when we put an earpiece in the ref's ear, they're like, what the hell are you doing to me? We're like, it's an earpiece. Put it in. Like,
I will legit, like, see guys on the road. I'll see guys on the road that don't have as much knowledge about working a hard camera and how you work a TV product. They've been wrestling for 7 years, and they don't know as much as someone fresh out of our school about working TV because they're getting to do it every week. And this other person just picking up any booking they can, they never get to work that style, so they have no idea.
Right.
And I think just the positive, like, if you're a guy and you're like, damn it, I want to make this my living, like, you'll get pushed in the back to make it your living. You know, like, there's enough. Either you'll get improved upon, or you'll be tired of people telling you how to improve. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very positive locker room in that sense, where everybody wants to help everybody. You know,
yeah.
And and definitely it pushes you.
Well, here on the Mat Radio, I thought we could go about a week without mentioning said news. I just got word of wrestling leaves another legend just 7 minutes ago, the passing of Outlaw Ron Bass. One of our buddies in the business, one of the vets, just sent me the link. Ironically, I contacted him about a month ago to come on the show. So we here under the Mat Radio, and I know, of course, CW and Ron, everybody remembers Outlaw Ron Bass. Sadly passes away, breaking news 7 minutes ago. I'm pretty sure you guys will see, all of our wrestling dirt sheets and everybody else that will post it. But Outlaw Ron Bass passes away, not sure of the cause yet. But we do want to send our condolences of him. I remember Outlaw Ron Bass too. So definitely on that note, with the Pro Wrestling Academy, Ron Mathis, do you have your sights on the heavyweight championship? Ron Mathis, do you have your sights on the heavyweight championship, taking it away from Jeremiah? Do you have your sights maybe of going after the American Luchador Championship? Or
well,
do
see,
you
the
look
thing
at...
is, there's only ever been in the history of Rockstar 2 Triple Crown winners. Me and Alex Colon are the only people that have ever held the Rockstar title, the Luchador title, and the tag team titles. And really, if you look at what's going on at Rockstar right now with me, everything's wide open for me. Because I'm 1 win away. Beat Jake Chris one more time, I'll win that best of 7. I'm in the title match with Jeremiah at spring break. And the thing about that is that as good as Jeremiah is, and he's great, I've been in way more high-intensity matches than him at Rockstar, more high-profile, high-pressure. So if that one happens, I think I got the advantage. And also, even without that, I'm in a group at Rockstar. It's the Foundation. It's me, Bruce Gray, and Sid Fabulous. And we all came from Chillicothe, Ohio. Me and Sid trained together. And you might recognize Chillicothe from it's been on the You might recognize Chillicothe from it's been on the ID channel a few different times for murder mysteries, because some girls are going up missing and they can't figure out who did it. So the fact that we're all from a city that is that crappy and that slummy, we have a real strict bond. We're real tight. So we can always go for the tag team titles. You know what I mean? Like, I like to consider myself a hybrid athlete where, I do the deathmatch thing, but I've also done 60-minute Ironman matches, wrestling clinics in the main. I can do anything. I can literally do anything inside that ring, any style, anything. So it's hard to tell what direction I'll go in because I can do anything at all.
So basically, what you're saying, white trash muscle, you're putting notice on everyone. They don't know. You could find a random partner and want to go after the Ugly Ducklings. You could decide to go for the American Luchador title. You're putting everybody on notice.
Yep, and that's the thing. I wouldn't even need a random partner. I'd go straight to Bruce Gray. Me and Bruce, two of the most underrated wrestlers in the world. Like, no one ever is talking about us, but we both can get in that ring and straight up go. So if me and Bruce wanted to go kill it with the Ugly Ducklings, that would absolutely happen. It could absolutely happen.
So talk about your team. Now, you being white trash muscle and Bruce Gray being true grit. What makes you two, when y'all do come together, so dangerous?
Well, true grit and white trash, it's not that big of a difference between one and the other. Yeah. And, yeah, well, I think it is, if I remember right. But the thing about it is, it's the same thing as what white trash is. White trash and true grit is just any small smidgen of an opportunity you get, you take it, and you got to work as hard as you can because you get so little when you're living a gritty lifestyle, when you're living a trashy lifestyle. Nothing's handed to you. So when you get it, you got to work your ass off and turn into as much as you can. Me and Bruce are in the gym every morning at 5 a.m. We think about wrestling all day. We're from the same city, so we're together every day working out, thinking about wrestling. You know what I mean? So we'd be pretty cohesive. I think we'd give the Ugly Ducklings not only a run, but I think we could beat them. And I might just have a belt over both shoulders at Rockstar here soon.
You hear the CW Scott? I mean, you're the man in charge. You hear what Ron Mathis is saying. See, so he got no excuse, Ron. He on the show. He hear you. He definitely hear you.
If anyone knows what I'm capable of, it's CW Scott. He's seen me have more good matches and beat more huge people. If anyone knows what I'm capable of, it's CW Scott.
Oh yeah, we're definitely not scared of surprises or anything at Rockstar Pro. Like it's anything can happen.
What could the fans look forward to coming up for spring break? The pay-per-view comes up in April.
I think a fan can expect, the same excitement we've had the last handful of our pay-per-views. Our pay-per-views are usually always really good, but like the last couple have been amazing. Just, I think our homegrown talent is really blossoming right now. Like they're kicking in high gear right now. Like we have a handful of of indie guys come in from all over the place, and I think that our homegrown talent is stepping up to the same level as some of these guys who have a little bit bigger names, come in and they're coming in their own, and I think our fans are starting to see that. Like, you may not know who Jeremiah is, but I guarantee after you see him wrestle, you're going to be like, I want that guy's amazing. Like, I'm hooked. I'm hooked.
Right. He definitely is. Well, one thing that I really do enjoy, having a background in art, having an art degree, is you guys' logo. I do love your Rockstar T-shirt. I definitely do love it. Hopefully at some point we definitely can get a copy of it. Talk about your logo. I do love it. With me being a musician as well, you have like a luchador mask underneath to form like the X, kind of like a skull. You have two guitars. So it's not. I do love that. Definitely the merger. CW Scott, was that your idea, the logo, or was that your idea, Ron, or whose idea was it?
It actually came from just like when we started the company. It was my brother, I, and a friend named Gigi, and we all come from music backgrounds. So when Rockstar very first started, we actually ran shows in music venues. And so we'd have bands play and stuff. And so it kind of just, again, organically came about because we all came from a music background. Even the Rockstar Pro Arena, where we have our weekly shows and our pay-per-views from, is a business that we do wrestling at and film wrestling, but we also have a whole stage there. So it converts to a whole rock arena, basically, a 500 capacity rock arena. And we've had everything like King's X, Insane Clown Posse, You know, a little bit of everything from rock, indie rock to, you know, a little bit of everything. So, like, I think just naturally came about that we came from a music background. If you see me, I'm a long-haired tattoo guy. You know, I look, yeah, you pick me out, you say, pick the rocker guy out. That guy right there. You know, like, so I think it just kind of naturally came, and with just, like, everybody's artistic backgrounds, the guys, when we started it and everything, that just, a couple guys gave us logos, like, can you do this, this, and this, and we came out, we saw that one, like, okay, that's it. You know, and even now, we always try with our T-shirts and graphics and stuff to, like, stay what's popular right now. Like, you know, stay kind of hip, you know, like, just on the cutting edge of what's new, you know, and go with that, you know.
You know that, guys. Now, guys, with that, we're going to let you go in a couple of minutes. And as you know, here, Under the Mat Radio, we have a history of it, not just talking about wrestling. We talk about pop culture, TV, movies, boxing, everything else. With music, both of you guys into music. When you think of music and wrestling, start with you, Ron. What's the first thing that comes to mind? It could be a bad memory. Wrestling has a lot of bad memories when it comes to trying to fuse music together. Any bad memories of wrestling and music, or any good memories?
Well, when you say wrestling and music, I don't go to, like, any band showing up or anything like that. I think of the Simply Ravishing song that Rick Rude used in WCW. That was straight hot fire.
You know,
I literally probably listen to that 3 times a day.
It's funny you say that. I'm one of the few, and now I can add you, Ron, that was one of the very few wrestling fans. Just get teased on with this. I actually enjoyed his WCW theme better than the WWE theme.
Oh, man, the WCW theme's like from that WCW Slam or whatever CD.
Yeah, Slam Jam.
Everyone's on point. The Steiner Brothers music, the Sting song, even though they sound exactly alike. The Rick Rude one, the Ricky Steamboat one, okay, no thank you. The Family Man one, but other than that, man, on point. Good stuff.
We love that. Shout out to Vader's theme, the first theme he had. And I always loved Hogan's American Made. I always loved Hogan's American Made theme better than WWE's Raw American. I might be in the
I will agree with you on that. I'll agree with you on that.
They all sound the same. I do give you that much. What about you?
And then they started, like, taking Nirvana songs and changing one note so they didn't have to pay them.
Exactly. Changing one note in Nirvana. Or
original proposition.
Is it Kevin Owens and Korn? Isn't his song or something like really close to a Korn song or something now? Yeah,
similar to Korn. DDP's was Nirvana, Teen Spirit.
Raven had Nirvana.
Raven was was Raven Nirvana too? I think it was. Right. The Nevermind. Yeah, the Nevermind album. Yeah, Raven Nirvana is crazy. What about you, CW? If you think of wrestling and music?
Let's see. I got a good one here. I believe it's a good one. But when I was in the music part of things, I would do set-up tours and stuff. Well, in the 90s, there was this new, like, wrestling that was on our local, like, free channels, like a public channel. It was only our public access channels, and that was, like, ECW. So I wanted to so badly see ECW live that I booked a tour going to Philadelphia, booked a band at Tucadero at the time, and they played the show, and I went and hung out on the line and waited to see ECW. And actually that night, the night I actually showed up, I didn't care what event was going on. I just wanted to see a show, you know, live at the ECW Arena in Philly. And I actually showed up, and it was actually Born to be Wired. And I got to see that match.
Wow.
And at that point, I was, like, in love, like, watching indie wrestling. Like, I didn't care about the big arenas because I'd been to, like, WWE shows. Like, I was like, this is too big for me. But, like, seeing my first small indie wrestling show, and it was, like, that crazy, was just, I was done. You know, I was, like, completely hooked at that point.
Man, I mean, of course, you know, you have the ones. Saltine, you there, brother? Any thoughts of you when you think of wrestling and music?
Oh, any thoughts of wrestling music? Oh my goodness, Michael P.S. Hayes, that daggone record. I remember that record like that because my mother used to collect wrestling stuff, and she had the record, and she was like, "Listen to this," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what the hell? Really, really?"
Bad Street USA.
Bad Street. Oh my goodness.
What about you? Ever since your queen, thoughts of music and wrestling?
Music and wrestling. You're asking about what songs I like. It's always gonna be Stone Cold Steve Austin with the Glad. I know it's not much, but Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker. I did like his song Keep Rolling. It was awesome.
Yeah, it
I
was.
really like that one. I do like the oh my goodness. Even though I don't really like him, I do like his entrance music, and that's Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of the
Bray Wyatt.
band. I forgot the name of them, but the song is awesome.
So with that, of course, you know, I've told we were good buddies with Jeff Jarrett. We've told him before about that, the Double J, the music video with Road Dogg, and you guys in CW and Ron remember the whole Kiss Demon from WCW's Life Support days and Kiss playing. I remember, oh God, I remember the Road Warriors was in like a brief music video. Remember in the NWA, they was like, they had to return and they had the sledgehammers. They was like, do you remember that? They had the sledgehammers and he was like with Paul Ellering in the alley, and he took the sledgehammers. He was beating up their cars. I don't remember what song it was. I just remember that briefly. But do you guys remember when Conan had his music video in WCW? 1998, and he kept replaying it like every hour on Nitro and Thunder. And Rey Mysterio.
Wow, yippee-yay. And we will rock it all day, every day.
Oh my goodness.
That thing to this day sticks in my head. Can you say that again?
So is Conan just on here?
No, I don't. It sounds like it. That song stuck in my head. I hated it every time they played it, and I know every word to that song just because in nauseum, like Ron was just singing it. Just all you heard.
So that was when Conan was here.
Oh man. Conan, shut up, kick Conan for the DLC. Before we let you go, Ron, know you're a big horror movie fan.
Mhm.
Have you did you go and see Get Out? If you have, tell us how it is, and if not, tell us your top 3 horror movies.
Well, I don't really go to the theaters anymore. I wait till they come out on DVD because the prices are just ridiculous, and especially with the quality of movie these days. And really, I think most of the good movies go straight to DVD anymore. So I haven't seen that yet, but I will eventually. And then what was the second part? What you asked me? Top 3 horror movies?
Yeah, top 3.
3 is hard.
Let me give you 5.
Geez, that's rough. Well, right off the bat, I put Freddy versus Jason number 1. That way I can just get Freddy and Jason on the list. You know what I mean? And then, jeez. And then you got to get Michael on there. So I would go with Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2, because that one, or 4. Halloween 4. I love Halloween 4. And then, man, it's going to take up a lot of your time. So every time I get asked this list, I feel bad because I know I'm going to forget something. I'm really into the Hatchet movies. You guys ever see any of those?
Oh, yeah. Big fan of the Hatchet movies.
Yeah, I'm really into those. What's that?
Shout out to NFC Gameboy. One of my brother's former co-hosts. He's a big horror movie fanatic, so he got me into the Hatchet. I haven't watched the sequels, but I did watch part 1. I do know. I think it's part 2 or 3 that they made more so of a made fun of themselves. But
yeah. Plus they replaced the lead girl from the first one. She's Danielle Harris in part 2 and 3. So that's like Danielle Harris is enough reason to see a movie, really.
Well, hey, I mean, it's kind of like a shout out to the American Ninja series, which I love, where the bad guy from part 2 that actually got killed came back in part 3. Same guy as a referee. So I guess like, wait, didn't you just die in part 2? I guess it doesn't count if you come back as a different character. at all.
Yeah.
What about you? What about you, CW? Any favorite horror movies?
You know, I'm not like I'm really into like the old classic like
Frankenstein.
70s, 60s, and 50s, yeah, and 40s, even that, and like when the more modern you get, the more closer to the 80s you get, the more I'm just in like really B like horror movies, like you know whatever cheesy horror movie is, I'll totally watch it. And the classics, you know, like Wolfman, Frankenstein, and stuff, are really like my favorites and stuff. But like old, especially black and white, old sci-fi or monster black and white, I'll watch. Yeah, like all especially black and white. I'm a big fan of black and white TV for some reason.
So you don't like any color. You just want black and white horror movies. Anything when color gets in, you don't like it.
Yeah, and the less money they spend on it, the better. My wife always is like, I can't believe you watch this stuff. This is horrible.
The good old one. Shout out to our good old buddy, Saltine. Me and Saltine interviewed the creator of Terrordrome. Not sure if you guys have heard of it. It's a free downloadable game. It has all the horror movie icons on it. Freddy, Michael Myers, Candyman, Hellraiser, Leatherface, Chucky, Pumpkinhead is even on there, which I didn't even know anything about Pumpkinhead until my mom told me about it. So you can download it. Terrordrome, Ghostface is on there as well. There's all the music on there, all the original music, all of the backgrounds. Independently made game, so you can download it for free. Just Google Terrordrome game and download it. You'll definitely love it. It's for the PC. It is. So the horror movie, Star Wars, everything else, guys. It's been an honor to have you on. CW Scott, White Trash, Ron Mathis, Rockstar Pro Wrestling. Give you a chance now, what we call the plug party. Go ahead, guys. Start with CW, and then you, Ron, promote the website, how to get in contact with you, upcoming events, and what you have in store for the fans.
Well, we got a few things here. You can always check out Rockstar at rockstarprowrestling.com, and you can also check out rockstarpronetwork.com to check out our weekly AMP shows and previous pay-per-views. You can literally turn it on, and I think it'd take you about a week to watch everything if you watched it straight for 24 hours. So tons of stuff on there. Also, we have, like I said, you come to Dayton, Ohio, 1106 East 3rd Street, and we have a weekly wrestling show, Amped, bell time 7:30.
Yeah.
You never know who's going to be there. Like this week is like James Riley from your guys' area.
Wow.
I think Maxwell Jacob Feinstein's in town. We have our girls match, Samantha Heights versus Hall of Dead. And then, we have Best of Seven, Ron and Jake. But then, we have our spring break on April 7th with the main event, Sami Callihan versus Zachary Winston, a board match. But big thing I actually announced at our last iPay-per-view is we're going to have a 2-day tournament in Dayton, Ohio called the Tournament of Flight. Dayton, Ohio is the birthplace of the Wright brothers, so we have airplanes everywhere.
Oh, wow. We even have an airplane death match?
Well, we maybe, not yet. But it's going to be a tournament of flight kind of, yeah, and it's going to be kind of a high flyer tournament for 2 days. It's going to be June 2nd and 3rd, the first Friday and Saturday of June. And we already have signed for that Shane Strickland, Arrow Boy from Mexico City, Space Monkey from Canada, Facade from the Pennsylvania area, Desmond Xavier, Dave Chris, Nate Wings, Scorpio Sky from California, DJ Z, actually, and a couple guys from Canada. And we still even got a couple more names to add to that. But it's going to be a big event, June 2nd and 3rd, a little special iPay-per-view, I guess, that weekend. But, yeah, you can always check out, again, our website, rockstarprowrestling.com or rockstarprowrestlingnetwork.com. And we'll be on Fight. Check us out on Fight TV. We'll be on there here soon. And that's about it for me.
Go ahead, Ron Mathis.
All right, well, I'm on Twitter at Ron Mathis13. I'm on Facebook as Ron Mathis. It's pretty easy to tell if it's me or not. I'm always looking for bookings, no distance too far, so if anyone's listening and needs a little white trash on their show, I can provide that. I know everyone's on pins and needles, but I will not be in the high-flying tournament. I guess my invitation got lost in the mail. If you haven't seen me wrestle, that's hilarious because I am not a high flyer. Also, like, he was talking about the Rockstar Pro Network. Like, if you go back to that thing, and if you start at the beginning, when it started, I was Rockstar champion. And then I lose the belt, I win the Lucha Corp title, and I go and run with that. And then I start teaming with Jake Chris, and then we split up. And now I'm with Bruce Gray, the Foundation, and Tim Thacker. So, like, that thing is literally, if I, like, died tomorrow and someone looked at it, that would be the lineage of my career. That would be my legacy. So, like, I'm very proud of my body of work on the Rockstar Pro Network. So, like, check that shit out. I don't know if I can say that, but
you can.
Okay. There's a promotion called XWE Wrestling out of Nelsonville, Ohio. I actually booked that place, so people should be checking that out. And ASW from West Virginia, Madison, that's a promotion that got me in the ring with the Hardys and got me on Impact, so check them out and just support indie wrestling. That's all I got.
Yeah. If I can say one more thing too, man, it's like
go ahead.
Ron is a hell of a worker, and he's a great guy to have around. But definitely people don't give him a shot, man. Like, you haven't heard of him, you see him wrestle once or twice, and you will enjoy him and want him back. He's a great worker.
Thank you.
Wow. That is something. I mean, like I said, Ron, definitely watch YouTube videos. Great worker. Definitely love Rockstar Pro. Great guys on the roster we know personally, and some we don't know, but definitely love their work. White Trash Muscle, Ron Mathis, C.W. Scott, been an honor to have you on the show. Thank you for your time. When we're in the Ohio area, we definitely give you guys a call so we can link up and meet you guys in person. Thank you for your time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, for sure. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Legalize rank.
I'm sorry, say that again. Hold on, we're going to bring Ron back in. Looks like we lost contact. I know feeding up cutting Ron off, and Ron was saying something. Ron, if you want to call back in, you can, 347-677-1862 to finish your last statement, what you were saying. But everybody, C.W. Scott, promoting owner of Rockstar Pro Wrestling, White Trash Muscle, Ron Mathis on representing them. Definitely great guys having them on the show. Toph, what's going on, brother? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, just eating some pizza. How are you doing today?